Hey guys, Curtis Alexander. In this video, I want to talk about salt restriction because one of the common questions I get is, for example, I have high blood pressure. I was told I should restrict my salt. I think there's some problems with that, and I want to talk about that in this video. First of all, you have to understand no matter what nutrient, mineral, whatever it is you're talking about adding in or taking out, your body is going to have a response to that. And so when you restrict salt, you see a number of different things happen. First of all, you're going to see an increase in what's called your RAS system, renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. Basically, what that means is aldosterone in these substances are going to increase. Now, when you have that done for a long time, there's some big downsides to that. Having high aldosterone levels long-term has been linked to heart disease. It's been linked to cancer. It's not a good thing to have going on long-term. The other thing that can happen when you restrict salt, you can see serotonin levels go up. You can see increased clot risk. You can see increased sympathetic nervous system activity. I'm going to talk about this more in a second. I don't want to go too deep into the science. I just need you to understand that salt's getting blamed for things that it probably shouldn't. And when you restrict it, you will pay the price in one way, shape, or form. So instead of talking about restricting it, let's talk about what happens when you consume adequate salt. What does your body do? Well, first of all, it helps with stomach acid. For example, a lot of people who have GERD, they're getting that reflux because they actually don't have enough stomach acid. Consuming adequate salt can help with that because salt is sodium chloride. You need chloride to produce hydrochloric acid. The other thing it can help with is insomnia. Have a lot of elderly people who get put on salt-restricted diets and then they go, I can't sleep at night. Well, again, when you restrict salt, your sympathetic nervous system goes up. That means things like adrenaline and cortisol increase. When they increase, it's very hard to sleep because those are stress hormones, okay? Salt, getting adequate salt in your diet can help lower that sympathetic nervous system activity, help you get to sleep. A little trick, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're restricting salt, you can have something like honey and salt, a little bit of salt will help knock down a sympathetic nervous system response, help you get back to sleep. Other things salt's good for is your thyroid. It's good for metabolism. It's good for helping maintain a healthy weight. And again, we're coming back to this activation, these stress hormones. Anytime a stress hormone gets increased, like cortisol, it's not good for your thyroid. Okay, it's anti-thyroid. When you have something anti-thyroid, you're going to have poor metabolism, you're going to have weight issues. This does not make stress hormones bad. It's part of our natural response, but when they're chronically elevated, because you're so focused on restricting salt, you're going to run into issues. It's good for hormone balance. Going back to that aldosterone thing we talked about earlier, that helps regulate water and minerals. When it's too high, you're going to run into those issues. When you don't have the minerals, you're going to run into hormone issues. It can actually, eating adequate salt can help with allergies. We can also see this as a big one, that eating adequate sodium and salt can help decrease insulin resistance. Now, people will ask, but Curtis, it has been shown to lower blood pressure. That is true. You can potentially lower blood pressure by restricting salt. You can do it a few points. Okay. I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but you have to follow that line of thinking down a bit too. We do know that there have been multiple studies that have shown an actual increase in mortality, meaning death, when you restrict salt. There's been studies that show a reduction in coronary events when you consume enough salt. So yes, we can see blood pressure drop a little bit, but as far as is it actually helping people live longer and live better? I don't think that's the case. I don't think the evidence supports it, and I don't think it's a healthy thing to be doing, in my opinion. So let me know in the comments, guys, other video topics that you'd like me to cover. This was a prime example. I get these questions a lot, so I want to do videos that are helpful for you. So let me know in the comments. Make sure to go to my website, sign up for the free checklist to give you other options outside of drugs and surgery. So hope it was helpful, guys. I'll see you in the next one.